What is up, YouTube? And today we have a huge announcement for the future of Epic 7 for the long term and also even for the short term. Now, there's going to be some great things coming and also some things that are quite questionable that a lot of people have been having some problems with, and we'll talk about. So the first thing we're talking about today is the Moonlight 5-star Hero Recruitment event, or the Headhunting event. This also ran last year. You're going to see that basically you'll play a game to acquire points by either doing your dailies, your weeklies, and also using energy. And with those points, you'll actually be able to use them to pretty much select any Moonlight 5-star of your choice that has not released in the past 6 months. So basically any ML 5-star in the game besides, I believe, ML Landy, ML Euphine, and I think I might be missing one. If you guys know which one that is, let me know in the comments down below. But basically you just get these points, you just keep re-rolling until you get the unit that you like on your screen, and you'll be able to actually choose that unit and actually keep that unit for free. And we'll be making a tier list in the future to actually show you guys which of the Moonlight 5-stars you guys should actually be going for. So yeah, this is a great event. Basically, they try to do this every single year, if I'm not mistaken. You could pick up on units that you missed out on that you really wanted without even spending one summon for Mystic Banner. So if you want a Zeo, you can finally get your Zeo. If you want Pirate Captain Flan, if you want your waifu ML Bologna, if you want your Conquer Lias because you selected Meteor Cowrick, and so forth. You have so many options to choose from, so it's an event that everyone should be looking forward to, and I think it's one of the best events in the game, if not hands down the best. Next up, we have the 77 free Covenant Summon event for Winter, which is pretty funny because we just had a ton of free summons for the anniversary. But we have another event with a ton of free summons here, and basically you just log in daily for 7 days during the event period, and you'll be able to get 11 free summons every day. And you'll see it's just going to be in the Covenant Summon banner tab, or not banner, but summon tab, as you guys probably already know. And with the QLL change a few months ago, you can just press that free summon 10 times, and then free summon once, and you'll be able to take all of your summons that you get for free. Basically, it's plus 10s every day. Instead of saying like 77, it's actually kind of like 70 because you already get one free summon a day. But still, nonetheless, great time to get a ton of imprints, a ton of artifacts, and even max out a lot of your memory imprints for the units that you have for the lower tier units that you have, and also just get a ton of gold transmit stones for like your Strays, your Bellion, your Zeo, or even for Moonlight summons as well, which is a very nice boost to any account. I'm really excited because I'll actually get a lot of silver transmit stones, which I've been kind of lacking on recently because I haven't been summoning as much, but a great way to actually just summon for fun nonetheless. And as I predicted, guys, we do have the custom group summon finally coming to Epic 7, where you'll be able to choose 3 units, including limited units, and actually be able to pull for them on a single banner. Now, you actually can't choose recently released units such as like Nogwal and also like Kane, and also you won't be actually able to choose collab units as well. So just limited units and regular units that weren't recently released. And I believe they had to have at least one rerun of their banner, if that's how it's going to work this time as well. But there's a lot of units you can choose from. You can catch up on a lot of limiteds that you missed out on, especially if you're newer to the game. And yeah, if you want to know how the system works, basically you'll get a coin for every summon. You get 120 coins. You can use it for a unit of your choice on the banner, or 100 coins for an artifact from those banners as well. So yeah, pretty cool. Finally comes back twice a year. And like I said, it was coming, and I kind of knew it was coming because they always run it during this time. And as you guys can see now, it is finally confirmed, so you guys have to start saving your bookmarks now. And now we have potentially one of the biggest updates to ever come to the State of Balance in Epic 7, and that is going to be with Awakenings and also Awaken Potentials. So basically, the way this will work is for current units and new units alike, they'll be affected very heavily by Awaken Potentials and also by memory imprints. So Awaken Potential, you can kind of see here, if you guys, I'll try to zoom in, like you'll see Ravi here. For example, the star for the first star is actually going to be a little bit blue, and that's because of the Awaken Potential. And basically what Awaken Potential is it's going to actually help units that are struggling because of their constellation. If you guys didn't know, depending on your constellation, it affected your base stats, and instead of just constantly buffing units in the future and making their stats better and better to fit the meta, they're actually adding an Awakened Potential right now, and that Awakened Potential, as you guys can see, will give them bonus stats. If we're looking at Crow right now, one of his biggest weaknesses is his speed. He's very slow, so they're adding 2 speed and 4 speed for his Awakened Potential, and also because a lot of people want to build him on effect resist so he doesn't get locked down, so he can S3. You're going to see that his level 2 and level 5 Awakened Potential will actually give him more effect resist, so he can actually be easier to build and actually be more meta because, yeah, like I said, they're kind of combating his weaknesses in terms of his base stats. You're also going to see here that there's something new called the Potential Blossom Effect and Memory Shard Update. So basically the way this works is the Potential Blossom Effect is an additional effect applied to heroes upon awakening your level to level 3. So basically every single unit will have it. Awakening is very easy to do, you just have to farm runes. And basically what this does, if we look at Crow for an example, it's going to actually be based off your memory imprint, and you're going to see that the level of your memory imprint will give you a ton of effects. So at base level, if you don't have any imprints, at the end of your first turn you'll grant Escort to yourself on Crow. If you're at B, you'll get Escort at the start of battle, similar to SC Arrowwell. With A, you get effect resist, you also get health at 6%. SS, you get effect resist by 10%, and at SSS, you get increases your S3 barriers. So you can see that this is kind of going to make it so if you don't have imprints, you're actually going to be even more behind. So a lot of free-to-play players are complaining about this, and it does seem kind of counterintuitive. I feel like Epic 7 has always been a game that free-to-play players could always play and not feel too behind. But with this Potential Blossom, it definitely feels like it's a huge hit to free-to-play players. Now, albeit the biggest levels of strength for the memory imprints will probably be at the B level and also the SSS, because as we see here, A, S, and SS are just stats. But for B, it's a very important thing to get Escort at the start of battle, because this will make it so that Crow can actually be used against Cleave pretty easily, and also that you can use Adamant Shield on him instead of Aureus, and also because SSS gives you increased barrier. Now this one's not as strong, but for other units, we don't really know how that power creep will be. So just by looking at Crow, we can kind of assume B will be the strongest upgrade and then SSS will be the second strongest. But for other units, it might be the other way around. So we have to be very careful about this. And I kind of understand why people are so mad. Even for myself, like, I don't even have my blue Crow at SSS. So I'm just missing out on a lot of stats, missing out on a lot of, barriers that I'm getting from your S3. And because memory imprints are very hard to get because we have so many Moonlight units as well, it's going to be very hard to actually prioritize, right? What about units that have very strong ML counterparts as well as like, RGB counterparts, or units with like triple units, like for example, Midnight Gala Lilius, Fire Lilius, and also ML Lilius. They're all actually used in PvP, Guild Wars, RTA, Arena, like pretty frequently, all three of them. So it makes it very hard to prioritize. That means you need like 18 copies of Lilius to actually get the full effect of all the Lilius versions, which is pretty annoying in my opinion. Now, if you actually scroll down, the way you can imprint your units without having to have dupes is by using memory shards. And you can see that these memory shards are going to be consistently acquirable through weekly reputation rewards, conquest point shops, and transient stone shops. So this sounds like, okay, it's a free-to-play way to get a lot of memory imprints. So maybe this is not that bad, it's just like a little bit more grinding. But you're going to see you can acquire an amount of memory shards equal to the memory imprint of a Covenant hero once every 4 weeks. So every week, or every 4 weeks, you'll get one imprint, which means for one unit, if you get no imprints, it'll take 5 months to fully upgrade them. So that's a lot of time. So yeah, it's pretty annoying. And they're saying that they're trying to do this to provide players with the opportunity to obtain memory shards for lead heroes featured in side stories. But if lead heroes in side stories, if that's the reason why you're doing this, then why do you add this extra effect? Like, I'd understand this memory shard feature if there was nothing like with this Potential Blossom bullshit, but because they're adding like these extra effects and extra stats, it's definitely not just because of the lead heroes in side stories. Like, they definitely want to make more money and want people to pull more on banners that like are old, quote unquote old. So with these old banners, because no one's pulling on them because they already have the units, and also like memory imprints aren't as powerful in Epic 7 as other games like Genshin Impact with like Constellations, they're trying to make it like that to make more money, which is very annoying. So I can see why free-to-play players are very mad, and a lot of players are trying to some players are trying to defend this, like, oh, it's not that bad, only B imprint level is good, SSS is very good as well, but you don't really need it. Trust me, it's just the B imprint level for Crow is crazy. Like, you don't understand how important it is to get that Escort at the start of battle. So by not having your Crow with B level imprint, you're going to be missing out on a lot. Also, if you look down here, they're pretty much going to be applying this to existing heroes, right? And they say regularly, so it's not going to be all at once, but newly added Covenant and Limited heroes will have the Awaken Potential. So Covenant, Limited, Collab, everything. Like, can you imagine if this is on Collab? It's not stated here explicitly it's on Collab, but if it's on Collab units, like, like, I don't know, man. Like, you're gonna have to pull on every collab banner to have the full potential of every unit. Very annoying. And even though like the last like potential star or like whatever this is called, potential blossom effect, isn't that great, people are always going to be annoyed that they can't have a fully unlocked unit. I think the biggest thing with games like this, like Epic 7 and gacha games, is like you don't really care if the last like whatever constellation star is bad if you don't have the opportunity to get it, because you're not like gonna have the opportunity as a free-to-play player because it's just locked behind a lot of money, paywall. It's pretty annoying just being locked out of that content. So I think that's the biggest reason why people are annoyed. And with the newly added Covenant and Limited Heroes, that means for new units, like you're gonna have to pull for multiple copies on every banner. That's kind of really stupid, right? For older units, it makes sense if this would only be implemented for existing units, because they did say they're doing this to actually balance units with the stats, right? And give them more strengths to make them more competable or competitive with the newer units out there, right? Because there's a lot of power creep in this game. But if you put this on newer units, that's just a cash grab, right? You don't need to put this on newer units. You can just make the newer units be strong as they are and just have this Awaken Potential system to buff older units. But they're applying this to newer units because they want to make more money on banners, which is why I'm pretty annoyed about this as well. So, and then yeah, of course they said you can buy it in the shop eventually, these memory shard selection chests, but like I said, you can only get one every month, so what really is the point? This is the Awakening interface, and because they're changing how Awakenings works, there's going to be something called Erudite Lights, which are going to be available from New Spirit Altar. I think it's Epic Hell mode. So yeah, interesting, yada yada yada. I'm not too happy about this. Like, you're going to see stuff like this. Yeah, just not too excited because it just feels like you're going to need to summon a lot more, and it's just super bad timing on Smilegate's part, because in the past few months everyone's like so short on bookmarks and skystones just to pull like one copy of every unit of every banner. But if you implement this now after people are feeling that, it's like, okay, now we have to pull extra copies on every banner when we barely were able to not even pull on every single banner for one unit. I just don't know how to feel. So let me know in the comments down below, especially how you feel about this Awakened Potential. I think this is the biggest thing that people are annoyed about. Like, I would rather not have the ML headhunting event and not have this Awakened Potential than have both, honestly, like, because this is going to be super annoying in the future for newer banners. And then yeah, on a good note though, we are getting a lot more newer units. That looked like literally Silver Wolf kind of from Honkai Star Rail, but you're going to see that ton of new units coming out with the newly teased from the China server. This unit, I forgot what her name was actually, but the one holding Primo Gems, looks pretty cool. We're getting a ton of new units, and of course new units are always great, but keep in mind with these new units, what if they're locked behind super powerful potential blossoms? And you can see we're getting specialty change Christie, which is very cool. She's already a pretty solid unit, I'd say, in certain team comps with like Arya and stuff with like offense. I think this is a new unit as well. It might be an ML unit, I'm not too sure. If you guys know, let me know in the comments down below. I'm so bad at identifying new units. Yeah, a lot of cool new designs. Just not happy because I'll be having to pull for dupes for every single one. So yeah, I think it's definitely an update for whales and not too free to play friendly. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below what you guys actually think about this patch.